How a nuclear war will start, minute-by-minute breakdown. In the wake of rising global tensions and escalating nuclear arsenals, the potential for nuclear conflict is a very real threat. While nations exercise diplomacy, the onset of a nuclear conflict remains one of humanity's gravest concerns. This article examines the minute-by-minute progression of how a nuclear war might unfold, offering insight into how events could escalate at a terrifying pace. What triggers a nuclear war? Before a full-scale nuclear exchange, tensions between nations reach a boiling point. Political crises, military missteps, or accidental provocations could spark such conflict. A series of misinterpreted signals or military exercises mistaken for genuine threats could trigger launch protocols in moments of high tension. In modern warfare, minutes matter, and decisions are made at unprecedented speed, often influenced by intelligence data, national security doctrines, and political pressure. Minute 0. The first detection of a threat. At the moment a threat is detected, radar stations and satellite arrays activate their monitoring systems. Early warning systems in the US, Russia, and other nuclear-capable nations begin processing data at astonishing speeds. This initial detection may be a suspicious aircraft movement, the trajectory of a missile launch, or an unexpected surge in military activity. In this instant, both human and automated systems assess the situation to determine if it is a genuine threat or a false alarm. The detected threat prompts a series of steps that accelerate rapidly. With international safeguards in place to avoid misinterpretation, most countries initially verify the source and intent of any unusual activity. However, in high-stakes scenarios, the response window may be limited to mere seconds. Minute 15. Confirmation and first responses. Once a threat is confirmed, the nuclear chain of command is immediately activated. During these crucial minutes, national leaders, military officials, and intelligence agencies are alerted to the imminent threat. This includes activating secure communication channels and verifying the nature of the threat with all available resources. High-ranking officials are briefed on available options, ranging from defensive maneuvers to retaliation. As these assessments are made, systems within the military infrastructure prepare for a potential launch order. For leaders in control, these few minutes are critical, as miscalculations can result in irreversible decisions. Minute 6:10. Initiation of defensive protocols. If the threat is verified and immediate, defensive protocols go into effect. Missile defense systems, such as the U.S. Ground-Based Mid-Course Defense, GMD, or Russia's S-500, are readied for launch. These defensive systems are designed to intercept incoming missiles before they reach their targets. The success of these systems, however, is never guaranteed, as missile interception is complex and highly dependent on reaction time and technological precision. Meanwhile, civilian alerts might be triggered in high-risk areas. Mass communication systems send emergency notifications to alert the public of the threat, advising them to seek shelter. These warnings may include basic survival instructions and directions to designated fallout shelters where available. Minute 11 to 15. Nuclear launch decision. At this stage, leaders face the decision to retaliate or attempt further diplomatic negotiation. Nuclear nations often maintain a second strike capability to ensure that any initial attack is met with a response. In minutes, they might assess their nuclear triad, land, sea, and air-based systems, to deliver a counterstrike if necessary. Orders are conveyed down the chain of command. Codes for nuclear weapon systems are unlocked and crews prepare for launch. The gravity of this decision cannot be overstated, as it commits a nation to actions that will have catastrophic effects for generations. Mutual assured destruction, IAD, becomes a prevailing reality in these moments, as both sides prepare for an exchange that would devastate both populations and environments on a global scale. Minute 16:20, the launch sequence. When a launch order is confirmed, the sequence begins immediately. ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles, submarine-launched missiles, and air-based systems are prepped to deliver nuclear payloads. Many of these delivery systems are positioned to reach their targets within minutes or even seconds. Once launched, ICBMs travel at speeds of up to 15,000 miles per hour, making interception nearly impossible. Countries might also deploy submarine-launched ballistic missiles, SLBMs, from hidden underwater positions, aiming to ensure that their response remains undetected until it's too late. At this point, communication lines between nations could be severed or disrupted due to cyber attacks, electronic warfare, or satellite disconnections, making coordination efforts for de-escalation all but impossible. From here on, events accelerate with dire consequences. Minute 21 to 30, global impact and early fallout. The next minutes involve the impact and immediate fallout. Upon detonation, nuclear explosions generate intense heat, light, and pressure, causing widespread destruction. Thermal radiation instantly ignites structures, trees, and everything combustible within the blast radius, while the pressure from the blast wave shatters buildings, cars, and infrastructure. The electromagnetic pulse, EMP, created by the explosion disrupts all electronic equipment in the vicinity, disabling communication networks, power grids, and essential systems. For those within miles of ground zero, the effects are immediate, with shockwaves and fires causing catastrophic casualties. Within seconds of the blast, thousands to millions could lose their lives, with many more injured or exposed to lethal radiation levels. Minute 31:60, worldwide awareness and international panic. As news of the nuclear exchange reaches the global stage, panic ensues worldwide. Nations rush to secure their borders, mobilize militaries, and prepare emergency protocols. Stock markets crash, and communication lines become jammed as people scramble to connect with loved ones. Media outlets, if still operational, begin reporting the events, with journalists and analysts speculating on the next phase. Nations that are allied with either side of the conflict may mobilize their forces, either to assist or prepare for defense, depending on their political stance. Nuclear-capable nations may heighten their alert status, adding to the heightened risk of further exchanges. Hour 16, widespread devastation and environmental fallout. In the hours following the exchange, the effects of nuclear detonations continue to devastate the environment. Fires caused by the explosions burn uncontrollably, contributing to firestorms and releasing immense amounts of smoke and soot into the atmosphere. This soot may enter the stratosphere, where it can block sunlight, leading to a nuclear winter scenario that would lower global temperatures for months or even years. Radiation fallout spreads over vast distances, carried by wind patterns that contaminate air, water, and soil. The immediate health effects of radiation sickness become apparent within hours, affecting those exposed during the explosions. In the coming days, food and water supplies become contaminated, making survival in affected regions exceedingly difficult. Day 1 and beyond, the onset of nuclear winter. As days turn into weeks, the survivors of nuclear blasts face severe challenges. Infrastructure, power, food, and medical supplies dwindle, while radioactive fallout contaminates vast areas. The nuclear winter effect potentially causes crop failures worldwide, leading to mass starvation and economic collapse on an unprecedented scale. The political landscape shifts as world leaders, if still operational, struggle to manage the global chaos and negotiate ceasefires. Humanitarian crises emerge, with millions displaced or left in isolated, irradiated zones. Long-term environmental impacts set in, affecting ecosystems and biodiversity. The terrifying progression of nuclear war, minute by minute, reveals the fragility of peace in an era of high-stakes weaponry. With nations amassing powerful nuclear arsenals, humanity's responsibility to prevent such an outcome is more crucial than ever. The potential for devastation underscores the importance of diplomatic efforts, disarmament treaties, and global cooperation to avert such a future.